When the calendar turns to November, it's time for Liberty Center to pack their bags and get ready for state competition in cross country. Let's find out who's on the team this year. I'll let them introduce themselves.
Hope Oker, sophomore.
Sydney Miller, junior.
Sophie Long, junior.
Bailey Johnson, senior.
Mallory Stark, freshman.
Cassandra Ela, freshman.
Delana Ashbaugh, junior.
All right, let's get back. Hope, you've kind of been the leader of the pack here. Terrific regional championship. Let's talk about your race, what you did to win the title.
I didn't have a very good start, and I got out a lot slower than I would have wanted, but I tried to make up ground in the middle of the race and then just pull ahead.
I heard you had some problems. Somebody was spiking you or something early on. How'd you deal with that?
Well, I just kept trying to pass people. That did not work out. And then eventually I just kind of surged and just, did what I needed to do. And then, it worked out.
What about the finish of the race? Do you have to hold somebody off down the stretch?
Ella Bow was about 6 seconds behind me, so she was pretty close. And I just had to just give it everything and finish hard.
So your favorite race, if you're looking back over the whole season, what's been your favorite race, you think?
I would say Widewater because I didn't race like I usually would. I didn't get out like in the lead, and I picked off Alyssa Ellerbrock at the end of the race, and that's not usually like what I would do, and I just thought that was kind of cool.
Okay. Sydney, tell me about your race at the regional, about how you started, how you finished.
I got out kind of around Hope, started out in the front and kind of just maintained my spot until the finish.
Do you try and stay with her right from the get-go usually?
No, she's a little quick for me. I get out a good distance behind her and then just kind of maintain my ground and then try to help her out.
And your favorite race as you look back over this year has been?
Probably the league championships.
Right. And let's move on to Sophie Long. Sophie, tell me about your race and how you felt you ran.
I got out pretty fast. I was with Delana and a girl from Stryker. And then I just kind of settled in after that.
Do you go by time, or do you kind of look for somebody in particular to run with?
I usually look for someone to run with.
Okay. Your favorite race this year?
Was also probably the leagues.
Okay, and why was that? What stood out about that?
It was just a nice flat course with a lot of tangents.
Okay. Let's move to Bailey. Bailey, you're making your how many trips to state?
Cross country, third.
Okay.
Yep.
Tell me about your race and what you felt about how you ran in the regional.
Regionals was a lot of fun. It's super fun to race with the teammates we know to pack up, and so it was a good time getting to race with the girls.
And your favorite race this year?
I think Greenville, because we used to go to camp with Greenville High School, and they're a lot of fun to be around, so we got to see a lot of our friends from there.
All right, long road trip there. Yeah. Mallory, one of the freshmen, tell me what it was like running your first regional meet.
It was great. Honestly, getting to run with all of our girls was really great, and yeah.
What's the tough part about making the jump from junior high to being in high school? How does that adjustment work?
It's honestly a big difference in the team, but running, it's so much better than junior high, and I just like running 5Ks more.
Okay. You're another freshman. Tell me about how you adjusted to the bigger mileage.
Preferably, I like the longer mileage, and I feel like you get to work the extra mile. And this year I've transitioned better, and I feel like I've run better times.
So what was your race like? Talk about how you raced at the regional.
At regionals, I think I started out a little slow, but I was behind Sophie Long Pack and Delana, so I tried to work up to them, and I worked the middle a lot more than I usually do.
Okay. And Delana Ashbaugh, tell me about how you ran your race in the regional.
I tried to get out quick, and I was up with Sophie, and I knew Cassie was close, and so it's fun getting to work with the team and trying to pull each other as you're working through the middle and towards the end.
Can you talk much during the race, or is it more
no.
Unspoken communication?
Yeah, I'd say unspoken, you just see your teammate and you have to go with them.
Favorite race for you this year?
I would have to say Widewater. I love the course. It's a lot of fun, and it's very challenging.
Okay. Well, let's go back to the start about why all of you are in distance running. Hope, what keeps you coming back to keep running?
Personally, I cannot sprint for the life of me. And distance is fun because, you don't have to get out just, going, insane. And you can, you have the whole race to kind of, if you mess up, then you can redeem yourself. And it's just I do better at long distances, and it's really fun because I love my teammates, and it's a good time.
Are you telling me you're not sprinting for those last 50 yards?
Okay, I do sprint for the last 50 yards, but not for a whole 5K.
Okay, gotcha. Sydney, what brings you back for more on the distance running?
My mom ran cross country in high school, so she kind of passed it down to me, and I don't know. I love being with my team. They're all amazing, and distance running is just, I enjoy it.
Sophie, what do you like about it?
I'd say definitely my teammates.
Okay. For Bailey?
Yeah, my coaches and my teammates, and my family's really encouraging, so I'm always coming back for them.
Mallory Stark, why do you like distance running so much?
Oh, I like distance running because I always used to watch my brother, Cameron, and then I always loved watching Brittany and them run, so I was really inspired to do it.
Cameron has moved on to the college level. Cassie, what about you? Why do you like running with this cross-country team?
I discovered I like running at a young age, so like being on a team with other girls really helps me like love running even more. So.
And for Delana?
I love the team aspect of it. We're all super close. Like on our runs, we get to know each other, and we just are just a bunch of happy friends.
Liberty Center girls heading to the state championships tomorrow at Hebron. The Liberty Center Tiger guys have packed their bags. They're headed for state, qualifying out of the regional. Let's find out who the Tigers are headed to state.
Caden Eliff,
What grade?
junior. Chris Miles, senior.
Kenny Miles, sophomore.
Drew Bowser, senior.
Ethan Borsman, senior.
Matthew Marlowe, freshman. Derek Dooley, freshman.
All right, you guys have to talk up a little bit. The girls outmatched you in this department. Nathaniel, tell me about how you ran your race to kind of lead the way.
Kind of went a little easy to push for the second mile. I kind of pushed hard to catch more places because people will be dying off. Then I pushed the third mile up the hill, then caught the two people in front of me to get 6.
Okay. Talk about running at Tiffin. Now, that's one of the tougher courses, right?
Yeah, especially when it's muddy and rainy and all that.
Yeah, by the time you guys got there, that was a challenge.
Yeah,
You have to watch your footing.
Yeah, especially at the hill at the end. That was very hard.
What about your favorite race this year? What you look back, your favorite?
Probably Greenville.
And why is that?
Because we won it.
That's a good reason. All right, Chris, tell me about how you ran your race.
Basically, I knew I needed to get out. It was a risky race. We were kind of on the edge of not being able to make it to state. So I knew I had to get to close as Bailey as I could. And so I went out as fast as I could without what we call going lactic in the beginning, just not being able to breathe and your legs starting to die off. So went out pretty fast and then started working the second and third mile and just tried getting my brother to get as close to me as he could, and he ended up out kicking me. So
okay, now do you guys talk during the race, or is it kind of unspoken? What's going on?
There's I guess like a few transactions that we have. Sometimes I'll just kind of yell at him if I'm having a bad race and he's just kind of sitting on me, so I'll tell him to go ahead and push, and that's basically what we did in the last about 800 meters. I told him he's got to go. I wasn't feeling too hot in the last 800, so that's what he did. He just took off and took a lot of places for us.
I'll tell you what, a competitive regional for sure. What's been your favorite race so far this year?
Definitely leagues. We have a huge competition with OHSAA, and especially every year since I've been in high school, and it was bummer losing to him my freshman year, but sophomore, junior, and senior year being able to beat him was pretty awesome.
I guess. All right. Kenny, tell me how you ran your race. We heard a little bit from your brother.
Yeah, I kind of got out slow, and I didn't get to my brother until like the second mile. When I eventually got to him, I knew that I had to go because I was kind of behind by a lot. So when I got to the second mile, I picked it up a lot, and at the end I passed him and ended up beating him. So
how do you like running the hills of Tiffin?
They're pretty difficult, especially this week when it was really muddy and stuff, but I knew that I had to get up there, so I pushed as hard as I could and kept going after the hills.
So your favorite race, looking back over the year, was?
Probably regionals.
Okay.
Definitely. It was a really good competition. We didn't run our best, but we ran good enough to get out the state, and we all tried our hardest.
That's all he talks about. You got to move on, qualify. Drew, you're the senior, one other senior in the group. Tell me about your race in the regional.
Well, I got out a little fast. I think I was in third on the team at the mile mark, but eventually I settled into a pace and found a pack to run with and ran pretty well.
So are you going by time or going by place? How do you determine what your pace is?
Usually it's just what feels comfortable, but normally you have to find just position is the most important thing.
Tell me about running on one of the most rotten days of the year on the hills at Tiffin.
I thought it was great. I thought that gave us an advantage over a lot of other teams that just couldn't handle the pressure.
Because you've run in those conditions before?
Yeah, we run like that all the time in the summer and throughout the year, so I think it just helped us a lot.
Okay. Your favorite race this year?
It's definitely regionals.
Okay. Why is that?
For the most part, because we made it to state, and that's something I've been looking forward to do for a long time.
All right. It's sending you on. Ethan, tell me about how you ran your race.
I knew I had to get out fast, so I tried to keep up with the boys as much as I could, and then every time coach told me I had to go, I just tried to get as many places as I could and just keep getting faster and faster each mile.
Have you come to the conclusion every single point counts when it comes to this kind of competition?
Yes, it does.
Yeah. Your favorite race over the course of the year?
Regionals.
Okay. And why was that?
I love the course at Tiffin. I love running in those conditions that we had, perfect running weather. And then also we got to make it to state, which is a huge milestone for me.
Could be in the 30s tomorrow. Are you okay running in the cold?
Yes.
All right. Got some freshmen coming up. Matthew, tell me about what it's been like making the transition from junior high running to high school, what that's been like.
It's been interesting. The third mile is definitely challenging. You're not used to it coming out of junior high, but it's all right once you get used to it.
But by now you should be, I would think.
Yes.
All right. Tell me how you ran your race in the regional.
I went out with Drew, so I went out fast, settled into a pace, ended up passing Drew, and just kind of staying with the pack that I went out with.
Coach always tells me the freshmen are kind of the wild cards. You guys can kind of make or break this thing. So as you go down, what are you looking forward to about the state competition?
Definitely I would definitely say like the weather we're supposed to be running in. It's just supposed to be very nice and cold, very good racing weather.
You're okay if it doesn't rain during the race?
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
Okay. And I've got Derek. Derek, tell me about your transition from the junior high to the high school cross country.
It was pretty difficult just because that third mile, it's just difficult to get used to.
So what about the summer workouts? How did that prepare you for this?
It helped a lot. The longer distances definitely help with that third mile because you can keep going at that same pace for a while.
How did you run your race in the regional?
I felt I got out kind of slow. I could have kept up with my teammates a bit longer, but basically I felt I had a pretty good race.
Okay. And your favorite during the course of the year?
Leagues, probably just because it's fun racing against teams you normally race against, and just I had a really good race that week.
All right. Liberty Center heading to state, going for the championships at Hebron this weekend.